Hello, sweet people. How are you? You see, we're back to the foresty vlog today. I want to talk to you about when is the time to relax and when is the time to be disciplined. And honestly, I never thought I would ever say that, but discipline can feel so powerful, expansive, empowering. I feel like when we use discipline in a way to our benefit and not forceful, but like a loving parent, then it can feel like taking action even if we're not ready for it, or even if we are having resistance against it, then deciding, no, you know what, a part of me doesn't want to, but I will do it anyway because it's a good thing. Then from that discipline, we actually gain energy. We actually gain more self-trust, and we actually gain momentum on whatever we want to create or bring forward or heal from even in life. And in order to feel more alive and energized in your body, you can use little things like supplements, whole foods, or I want to introduce you, or if you've been on my channel for a while, I want to introduce you to Magic Mind, which, sent me samples of their product, which is this amazing brain support shot that I don't have in the forest. But here's a little video of how I used them for the last 30 days. Cheers. Because they promise to promote your productivity, your clarity of mind. I didn't have coffee, I didn't have matcha, I just had their shot every single day after breakfast or before giving sessions. And honestly, I'm so surprised of how much they boosted my energy. And there's some matcha in the shot, there is some ashwagandha, so it actually keeps your energy leveled, it keeps you relaxed and doesn't give you the highs and lows of coffee. And I was surprised that such a little shot would actually give you, such a balanced energy over a long period of time. Try it out. There's a code for you here if you want to give it a try. I really love it. So thank you, Magic Mind, again for collaborating with me on this video. So that's what I want to talk about. And maybe you already feel that I feel alive because I had a time in my life when discipline was everything. I was just going, and would try to fit a million things in my day. I had insane goals for a month and a year, and I would just overwork constantly and not really make time to properly rest. And so that meant I burned out at some point. And even when I was already in the burnout phase, I would still give 150. And what I know from myself and from clients that I've worked with, because obviously as I've worked through this, I've also attracted clients that are going through burnout, and we're working through it together, or anxiety and panic and stress. And what I know from their stories and my own stories is that waiting for too long to take action can lead to us needing to rest insanely much until we feel like we're able to enjoy taking action again, or enjoy productivity, discipline again. So if this is you, if you're going through a time where you are actually already burned out, or in the process of, leading up to a burnout, allow yourself to take a pause, take a rest. And I know people who are in this need for productivity you are afraid of taking that break. You're afraid of stopping and not being productive. And I get it, I've been there. And yet it is so crucial. It will actually aid your productivity and your sense of, getting stuff done if you make active time to rest. And a lot of you I know also are going through spiritual awakening or through a growth phase, through a healing phase. And some of you have very strong panic attacks or anxieties, and you can actually not do anything. You're actually maybe in the step after the big burnout, after the big bang, I want to call it. And you may feel like, oh my God, am I ever going to feel energetic again? Am I ever going to feel normal, quote unquote, again? And I'm the best example, hi, that you can feel energized again. Like right now I have so much energy, but it is because I took the right steps to, first of all, release all that stress that is obviously, connected to trauma or deeper held emotions from my life. Because why do we become so overworked? Because we want to run away from something. And I know we don't like to hear that, but it's true. So whatever you're running from to, in the sense of through productivity, through doing, if it's very hard for you to let go and actually rest without, and I don't mean rest with scrolling on your phone or on YouTube, sorry. It can feel a bit like rest because it still gives you like a relaxation sense, but it is not really the real rest that you may be needing right now. So you need to learn to rest. Often the opposite is the medicine. So if you're super stressed, then you need to learn that doing nothing is not a threat, that doing nothing is productive. And you need to find out how doing nothing looks like for you in a way that it actually relaxes you. And in the beginning, it may not feel relaxing. In the beginning, it may not feel like you're resting and doing something for yourself. It's like when you're breaking up with somebody, or they break up with you, or you decide to just stop the relationship. In the beginning, it may feel hard for you to be alone. So your task is to learn to be alone. Which is also important learning for a human being in this world. So if it's hard for you to relax, to let go, then maybe you like to be in control. Maybe there's shame around resting. So these are beliefs that you can get curious about and see what is true for you. Because, for example, I had a lot of shame around doing nothing. I would draw all my worth from being productive, from being valuable to somebody or something. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't feel valuable. I wouldn't feel worthy. And I would actually always act like I am doing something, even when I'm laying on the couch. I would not allow myself to be seen resting. And that's obviously a problem. So when you always have to act around people like you are being productive, although all you want is to just chill on the couch, identify, what do you feel guilty about? What do you feel ashamed about? And is this a belief that runs only in your system, or is this maybe something that comes from your family line? Has productivity been something in your family that you've defined yourself through? Is this a survival instinct or mechanism? Where does it come from? Ask yourself, get curious, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of literally curiosity. Because although you perceive resting as a threat, you may perceive it as such, but that may not be the truth. So when you're stopping and you're getting nervous, or your heart starts racing, or you're getting anxious because you're stopping, take a deep breath, start there, and let yourself know, wow, now I'm really noticing my pattern. What is happening right now? What am I feeling? And just identifying, or even before you logically identify, take a deep breath and feel, where do I feel this nervousness? And let it even come out a little more. Be in it. And notice what happens in your body. And then maybe even tell yourself, wow, there's a part of me that is really afraid right now, or really anxious, or ashamed, or guilty about not being, there's a person passing by, still a bit scary, but it's okay. All right, let's focus, Vanessa. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there's a part of you maybe inside that feels like it's not worthy or feels threatened by that rest. So let me acknowledge that. Let me feel that part. And that is the tricky part, because usually in that moment, you want to grab your phone and scroll. You want to eat something. You want to avoid or numb. But what you need to do is allow that feeling and let yourself feel, wow, how much this actually moves you in a really uncomfortable way. Use your breath to be in that discomfort. It's safe to feel that discomfort. And then maybe tell that part, listen, I feel you. I know it's hard to do nothing. It feels like a threat. I see you. I understand you. But right now I hold you. And it's safe to feel that. And it's safe to do nothing right now. I've got you. And that is basically your inner parent talking to your inner child. Yeah. And in the beginning that may feel a little bit weird. Why am I doing this? What is Vanessa telling me to do? But try it out and really try to emotionally connect, because you don't want to live your life forever like that. That's not freedom. That is limitation, fully limitation. And I tell you, maybe the middle may feel uncomfortable of you processing that emotion, but it will also feel so liberating when you allowed yourself to do. Yeah, and then after that, you will feel, maybe you will have a phase, like I already said, where you do nothing, or you feel like you can't even do nothing, because your body finally, you're allowing your body finally to rest. So that may be the moment when trauma is coming up, realizations are coming up, fear can come up, panic attacks can come up, anxiety can come up, because your body is suddenly resting. So your body feels heavy. You may even feel like, whoa, what is happening? Yeah, I have clients that come to me as well and are like, I have so much rest, I cannot even do something, I have no energy, and yet in the middle of the night I get a panic attack or I get anxiety. And I know that sounds a little scary, but I want to reassure you that this is only coming up because your body is in a rest state finally. So all the stuff that you suppressed, that you held back, is now able, and that's a good thing, to come to the surface. Obviously, if you feel there may be something going on with your body, please, go to the doctor, do all the tests that you feel like are necessary. I'm not a doctor. I'm in the alternative health. So please check out all the, professional, physical health, mental health, through the clinical tests you can do to check out, hey, is my body okay? And then once you've done that and they haven't really found anything, don't be afraid of the panic and the anxiety that may be coming up, because there is a way out. And I've seen my clients heal, I've myself healed, and it's usually just when you rest and you're get into that phase of, oh my God, I have no energy to even do anything, I don't have motivation, I feel lost in life. Just know this is your body needing to recalibrate, to rest, to just literally do nothing, because that is, if you all your life you've run 100 miles an hour, your body is exhausted, but you didn't feel it because you were just in your thing. So once you allow yourself to rest, that may happen. It may not happen for everybody, but it may happen to you that you feel absolutely exhausted. So there may be a time where your body just needs to rest. And in that time, people usually get afraid. They feel like, oh my God, I will never return to quote unquote normal. You will, to a new normal, to a healthier normal, to a more authentic self, where you heal out and process all and purify yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, from all that running, from all that conditioning, from all that unhealthy way of living. And I had that phase too, and there had moments where I was so afraid of like, will I ever be normal again? But here I am, I'm a good example, and you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. It's just about the right tools and trusting yourself, even if it sometimes feels like, whoa, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And there are just like ways that you need to implement. For example, I immediately stopped drinking alcohol because that made me more anxious. I immediately stopped anything that felt to me unsupportive. So it's okay to eat sugar sometimes, but don't eat it every day. And especially if your body feels heavy and you feel like you have no energy, you may be inclined to get energy from smoking, eating, alcohol, maybe even drugs. But I would just recommend you be your own parent and really in that phase, learn to listen to your body, listen to your soul, take care of yourself. Stop with all this self-punishment of eating sugar all day, every day. It's going to lead to anxiety. Stop alcohol, all the smoking stuff. Just, learn to take care of yourself and learn what is toxic and what is not. And sorry if that comes across like a little harsh, but I'm saying it from love because it took me a long time too. And a lot of hoops I jumped through and a lot of feelings of, oh my God, poor me. Yeah, but honestly, I was just not treating myself right either. So I wish I would have had a pep talk like that, where somebody told me, listen, you gotta get serious and take care of your body so that the rest that you're getting is actually truly restful. Otherwise, you're constantly punishing yourself and working against your system, and your system will tell you, because you will have anxiety, panic, and all these things, when actually what your system needs right now is purification. And what do I mean with purification? You learning to listen to your body and your soul, what it needs, and take action on that. And it's not gonna always be straightforward, right? You're gonna do it sometimes, then you don't. But at some point, you gotta take a decision and decide, do I wanna live in harmony with my body and my spirit? Or do I wanna keep on going like everybody else, but it's making me feel sick and tired? And once you get through that phase, you will start getting curious about life again. You will start feeling again like, oh, okay, like who am I now? I don't even know who I am. But you're getting curious to get to know that new version of yourself, that more authentic version. You will have space again to even have that curiosity and not just feel lost and sick and tired. And from there, you get to learn a new way of discipline. And that way of discipline is supportive of who you are. It's supportive of your nature. And the most important of all, it is your way of discipline. So it's not anybody else's. It's not how society deems discipline to be. It's you finding your own way. Like, for example, me. I make my own schedule. I love my work, so it doesn't feel like work a lot of the time. Obviously, I also have to do taxes and stuff like that. That does feel like work. But then I get to film videos like this or work with clients, and that never feels like work to me. So I get to do my own schedule. And now you may say, yeah, that works for you, but it's not going to work for everybody. You need to start believing in the fact that what you feel is true for you. What you feel like you want to do, like your dream life, that from a heart, from an authentic place, can never be wrong, because that's the truth. Otherwise you wouldn't fully feel that in your body. Even if in your mind you think, oh, that's cringe, or that's embarrassing, or that will never work. Go and get inspired by people that you admire, that have the life that you want. But the most important thing is only get inspired because you need to listen within and create your own very authentic version of whatever it is that you feel inspired by. That's why you need to learn to listen inside. That's why you have that time where you feel tired and you cannot do anything, because you're getting to know your soul and your body in a new way. So don't waste it. Don't feel like you need to run away from it. Don't feel like whatever fear, panic, pain, even physical conditions are coming up are against you. This is your body talking to you. So gently listen. And I know so many of you who then, book a session and are afraid and feel like, oh my God, I again had a panic attack. Like it feels like a defeat, but don't see it like a defeat. It's just your body talking to you that more calibration into a healthier, more harmonious direction for your body and soul is needed. And that's okay. It's okay to have a panic attack. It feels uncomfortable and it's not cool and it's scary as F ... but it is also, you can survive it, like now that I'm on the other side, I can normalize it a little bit in the way that our world is a crazy place. So if you don't feel like you're going crazy sometimes, you wouldn't be human, so it's okay. Yeah, but obviously also check in with the doctor and then work emotionally on it. Yeah, psychosomatically, emotionally. So if you're looking for somebody to do that with, you can reach out to me, sorry for the wind, or to any other practitioner you would trust. All right, so this is my message for today. So one more thing on discipline. It is something that you need to establish for yourself. Nobody else can tell you what is the right discipline for you, the right way of implementing discipline for you. One thing I can tell you is sometimes we're afraid to live out who we truly are, and then we have so much resistance that not even discipline can help us get there. Then you need to work on the block, on the fear that is telling you it's not safe to be disciplined. It's not safe to take action on your dreams. That's what you got to work on if that's in your way. But sometimes also we use discipline and force. Force and discipline are not the same. Discipline is being devoted to a dream, a vision, a cause, a calling. And being devoted and taking action on it even if you're tired. So sometimes I'm tired and I don't feel like recording a podcast or a vlog. But once I turn on the camera and I do it, I feel like life force energy moving through me. And after I finish the recording, I'm like, oh my God, this gave me energy. That felt so good. So sometimes our head gets in the way and tells us, don't do it, don't move forward, just be sad or be whatever, not taking action. And then it's super supportive to actually be disciplined for your devoted cause, like be devoted. That's a new way of discipline, being devoted to the health of your body, to opening hearts, to a better world, creating a better world, to supporting your family, but also in a healthy way that takes you and your well-being into account. Yeah, so devotion is like a softer form of discipline. And force is like the hardcore form of discipline, which is not very supportive, which may have you end up in depression or anxiety. Yeah, so we want to find a way that feels harmonious with who you truly are, with your system. And everybody has a different level of energy. Everybody has a different purpose and a different way that feels true and authentic for you. And discipline will not replace you being on a path that doesn't feel authentic to you. Yeah, so if you are disciplined but you're doing a job, or you're acting in ways, or you're being with a partner, or living your life in the way that actually feels draining and not supportive of your soul, of who you really are, you will not, like, discipline will not support you. Because then it turns into, I force myself to do stuff. And I know not everybody has the chance to immediately swap it around, but small steps and checking in with yourself again and again and again. And I know that sounds like work, and it is, I'm honest, it is. But it's a little bit of work over a period of time. And then that feeling of, oh, I need to check in with myself, will feel so natural and so needed, because you will not want to be somebody else but yourself. That's the conversation for today. Thank you everybody for being here. I love you, and I see you in the next video.